All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get the meeting started. Ready? Cool. Okay, so today's meeting, I'm gonna start this off with our number one goal as a club is to create a space for respectful political discussion. That being said, we are very serious and we like to keep it very professional. Keep overshares and satirical responses to ourselves and create a place for responsible political discourse. As always, these are serious topics today, so let's keep it respectful, and it's imperative that we all know disagreeing is okay. So I'm going to share some news from this week. There was an immigration legal battle. A federal judge blocked the Trump administration from ending temporary protected status for 350,000 Haitians. This is a major setback for the current president's immigration agenda. Secondarily, Epstein files. There was survivors and observers criticizing the Justice Department following the release of a new large cache of Jeffrey Epstein-related documents, citing concerns over redacted, missing, and incorrectly released information. All right, let's get it started.
So this is the first topic on immigration and ICE. So from the conservative perspective, strong borders equals national security, illegal immigration hurts Americans, ICE is necessary, and we support immigration. Well, legal immigration. And from the progressive perspective, immigration is essential to America's identity. Strict enforcement harms families and asylum seekers, and ICE has been accused of abuses and needs reform/abolition. So for the debate question, is strict border enforcement the most effective approach to immigration? So just raise your hand if you want to. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank all of you for coming here today. I believe it is very important that we discuss these issues. There's really two ways that we can currently look at the ICE administration, and that is both from a tactical standpoint and from a legal standpoint. From a tactical standpoint, the deployment of ICE in the middle of cities. Hello? Are we good? Okay. Okay. In cities, it's not very good from a tactical standpoint, because if it's announced that they're going to be somewhere, well, they can do this thing called running away. And from a legal standpoint, I understand people who want the end to this, but I joined this club because I am a strict constitutionalist. And in the wise words of Benjamin Franklin, a person who wants to sacrifice freedom in the name of security deserves neither. And I believe that even though he couldn't predict this would be about immigration, this situation applies to what he is currently saying. I understand why people want the end, but I currently believe that the means of achieving this was unacceptable, especially in the case of Alex, whose Second Amendment rights has been violated when the officers stripped him of his means of self-defense, and also the various violations of the Fourth Amendment, where ICE officers have come in without warrant.
Great. Do we have anyone that wants to give a rebuttal? Go ahead.
Hold on a minute. Okay, so first off, hello everybody. Hope everyone is doing well. For me, I support the fundamentals of ICE. I do believe that every nation should have secure borders from protecting illegal immigrants to coming in. America, in my opinion, has the nicest immigration policy. Most other countries, you not only have to serve jail time, their jail time is a lot worse than here in America. But for illegal immigrants, not only if you willfully deport yourself, you get $1,000 and free flight, you also get free medical care while you're in institutions or detention facilities. I think that not all of ICE's actions are necessarily justified, though you have to look at it through their standpoint. When you're dealing with thousands of protesters per day, messing up your property and hurting you and people around you, you do have to sometimes take extreme measures, not justifying everything ICE has done, just justifying it from their standpoint. Hope you all have a great day. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Kia. As someone who is an immigrant and who did stay in the U.S. illegally, I can say that the immigration policy of the U.S. is not the nicest one. To walk you through this, just to apply for a visa to get into the U.S., you have to have at least, I think it is about $5,000 in your whatever currency it is, in your bank account to make sure that you won't stay here illegally. And this is for a visitor's visa, which can take up to 1 or 2 years. Afterwards, you have to have a valid reason to want to be a citizen. For me, it was because my mom married a U.S. citizen. Now, this process took about, I want to say, since I was 10 till 2021, which is actually a really short time for immigration policies here. And not only that, but just my own application was about $6,000 to process, plus transportation fees, going to interviews, talking to this guy who will literally look at every single photo that you took together for your relationship to make sure you're not committed fraud. Even after that, it took a year to get any proof of my residency, and you still have to wait multiple years just to want to become a citizen. And even afterwards, you have to study for a citizenship test, and that takes more money and more effort. And my process took about, I want to say, 8 years, and that was a short time. Because that was during the COVID era where things were actually moving along a little bit better than it is now. So to say that the immigration policy today in the US is nicer is not true. And even if you didn't get your residency or your citizenship, there's a chance that you could be deported regardless. And you can't come into the US for 10 years after that point. So no, it's not a nice immigration policy, and no, I do not believe that the current policy today is fair or nice or easy. Actually, I do think it should be abolished.
Thank you. Anyone want a rebuttal? Yeah? You want a rebuttal?
It's not a long monologue, but
Okay, go ahead.
So, I don't have a long monologue response to that, but I feel like it sounds like you're saying that just because becoming a legal citizen in the United States is hard, it should be abolished, but there are so many legal things that we have to do that take a long time to do. So why would we? Okay, I don't know how to word it, but it takes a long time to get your driver's license, just because it takes a long time and it costs money. I'm not equating it to that, but okay. It doesn't need to be easier, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and move on. Anyone? This one's me. Got it. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey guys. Okay, so our next topic is sexuality and gender identity. So the conservative perspective is that concern about minors, biological sex matters in sports and privacy, and there's fear that disagreement is labeled as hate. In the progressive perspective, transgender and LGBTQ+ students deserve safety, parents should have little say in minors' gender identity, and inclusion in sports and facilities is a civil rights issue. So the question on this one is, whose rights should take priority in school gender identity policies, parents or students?
I don't want to explain it.
Yeah.
Whose rights should take priority in school gender identity policies? It's basically.
You want to clarify?
Yeah, just explain it. So what the question is, if you didn't understand, it's basically wait guys, shh. Okay, so it's basically those policies where a kid is allowed to socially transition without the notification of the parents. So it's basically should the parents be involved, or should it be the students and the teachers who are I guess, get to make the decision?
We're gonna go with you. We're gonna go with you. I'm gonna hold the mic, okay?
I think that it shouldn't be the teacher's job to help the kid kind of make that transition. I feel like it should be the parents and the kids kind of helps build that relationship, and kids not coming to their parents about that destroys that relationship. And I think that as kids progress, they're gonna grow distant from their parents because they're not talking to their parents about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, great. All right. Anyone want to rebuttal? Yeah.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kingsley, and I'm also known by Ray, which is part of socially transitioning. I still go by she, her, and all that stuff. When I first started, me and my mom used to fight a lot, but part of it is just learning to grow with each other. It doesn't destroy the relationship, it's making a new bond. So you're learning to grow as a new person, because as you get older, there's more things you want to do, more things you want to discover. You're not going to be the same person forever. So to say it destroys a bond, your parents, they love you. They just want to know what's best for you, They're just trying to figure it out. The same way you're trying to figure it out. That's what high school's for, to discover yourself. So there's no destructing of bonds. It only gets destructive when you guys are truly not listening to each other. Me and my mom found a stand ground, and now she even calls me Ray. So that's how I feel, yeah.
Great. Anyone want to rebuttal that? No? There's not much argument. All right, so our next slide is LGBTQ plus rights. The conservative perspective. Good. The conservative perspective is that support equal rights but oppose things like pronoun mandates, and religious liberty must be protected. Progressive perspective is that people in the LGBTQ plus community still face discrimination and protections are necessary. And pronoun use is basic respect. So the debate question for this is, which side do you agree with most and why? Go ahead and
It kind of feels like the same question.
Yeah? Go for it. I'm gonna hold it, okay? I'm gonna hold it.
Oh, yeah, you can hold it. Okay. I guess I would. No, should I introduce myself first or no?
Whatever you want.
I guess I'd probably support more of the conservative perspective with some leniency. It's more of I take more of a centrist stance on this, but I believe that the religion, with the religious perspective, it should be respected in that people even if you want people to use the set pronouns that you've decided for yourself, they still have their own choice whether to comply or not, if that is not their, because otherwise it comes across to other people as you enforcing your ideology upon them, but it goes both ways. That's why I stand more of a centrist position on this.
Yeah, great. Anyone else? No? Okay, we'll move on. Someone want to talk about it? Go for it.
Okay, so our next topic is education issues. The conservative perspective is parents deserve transparency and control, and book bans are about age appropriateness. Progressive perspective is students should learn about racism, gender, and identity, and book restrictions limit access to diverse perspectives. So the debate question is, who should have a final stand in school curriculum, teachers, admin, parents, or students?
Anyone want to talk about this one? Ben, let's do it, Ben.
Let's do this one more time, ladies and gentlemen. So books are very important and it really is important to read. So who should have the final stand? Well, this really depends on the age. I feel like at high school, we are mature enough to be reading about these themes, whilst I can understand the argument for not allowing these books at elementary and middle school levels. But I think at the end of the day, as long as we're reading and learning about the world around us, yeah, I don't really have necessarily a strong feeling about it. As long as the book bans are not enforced upon us as high schoolers, then I guess at middle school, elementary school, it can be okay. Although I think middle school should be a bit more lax than with elementary schools. But also, just at a bit more perspective, there can be the argument that is made that kids are learning these type of issues through social media use. Like, kindergartners already have iPhones. I have seen this, and I'm already disturbed at that enough already, so.
This is true. Anyone else want to talk on that one? Yeah? Want to go again?
Hi, I'll also take more of a conservative perspective on this, but it's for a different reason. I believe that the parents should be able to decide, at least in the elementary and middle school years, to raise their kids how they feel that they should be raised, but in high school the kids should be encouraged to find their own ideologies, even if it differs from the parents, so it's not just hearing the same arguments over and over and over again. That's all I have to say on that.
Cool. Do you have another slide? Any more slides? Okay, so now we're gonna do the open debate. If you have any issues you feel strongly about, it could really be anything. I mean, within bounds. That you think deserves more honest conversation among us, go ahead and ask it. Yeah, come on.
I'm back again. For me, I've been talking about this with a lot of people recently, but I do believe that we spread too much misinformation and spread it as truth. One of the biggest things, and I hope none of you get offended by this, I don't mean any respect or disrespect, but the ICE murders. There's sadly been over 30 people who have died while under ICE custody, but people push it as ICE murdered every single one of them. That is not the case. That's just a main one for me. I hate when people spread lies, acting like they don't know. I believe that everything you say should be backed up by research. If you don't know what you're saying, you can either say you don't know what you're talking about or just don't say it at all. That's all I really want to say. Thank you for your time.
Fair enough, yeah. Anyone else? Yeah, come on.
I do agree that.
Speak in the mic.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold it.
There is a lot of misinformation. I think sometimes ICE is portrayed as people, as like massacring people, but as someone, I watched the videos and I attempted to maintain a neutral position, not be biased, and I cannot understand how people are defending the ICE agents. I have watched multiple perspectives. Alex Preddy, for example, he was pushed down. He was trying to defend a woman who was getting pepper sprayed. In response to what you said, by trying to maintain neutral, I cannot understand your position in this position.
Okay, can I answer
that? Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so when I did talk about the people ICE has murdered, I will admit I do believe Alex Presley was very unjustified in his murder, killing. When I said the 30 people, I was talking about all of them mainly as a whole. 4 people were shot by ICE. 2 of those can be debated, 2 of those I don't think can. About 15 plus people died due to medical causes, but people label that as an ICE murder. They were given fair treatment. Sadly, 5 people passed away due to suicides. That's a tragic thing. And the rest of them died due to outside civilian actions. For example, 6 of them were shot, I forget his name, but they were shot by a civilian sniper who was shooting up a ICE detention facility in Dallas. I don't know if you guys have heard about that or not. And in the process, ended up shooting immigrants and ICE agents nonetheless. But I hate when people say that's ICE's murder. That wasn't ICE's fault. So I don't believe Alex Presley was justified. I do think Renee Scoot could be debated. But I was just talking about mainly as a whole. I don't think ICE is going out shooting everyone they want. with their free will as people try to push.
Do you want to have a counter argument, rebuttal? All right, cool. We're going to wrap the meeting up there. Lunch is almost over. Thank you guys so much for coming. And make sure you guys scan the QR code on the way out if you didn't on the way in.